All right, so we will start. So thank you for joining my webinar, Best Practices on Salesforce and Outlook Integration with SmartCloud Connect. So let me just introduce myself. So my name is Alex Sutler. I'm your personal account executive at SmartCloud Connect for Salesforce. So that's me. And if you need any help with your Salesforce and Outlook integration, here are my details. So obviously you got my email, so you do have my email address. I'm also available on the phone and my LinkedIn profile below. After this demo, I will send you the recording of this webinar so you can watch it and look at the things that you could have missed during this webinar. So who we are, I will start with introduction of SmartCloud Connect, who we are as the company. And today we will be covering a few topics. First one is how do I capture every communication in Salesforce? So how do I make sure that all my interactions with my prospects, with my clients are recorded into my Salesforce? Additionally, we will discuss how can we, besides email interaction, also record our activities, our calendar events, our calendar appointments. So I will cover that as well during the webinar today. And also, how do I make sure that emails that I send to my recipients and to my clients, that they are read by my recipients? What does SmartCloud do to help me with that? Additionally, we will discuss today how SmartCloud can help you to increase your follow-up rate with your prospects and your clients. So obviously, if you need to make a follow-up, you want to make sure that they are happening, right? And so I will show you what SmartCloud can do for you to help you with this. And also, I will show you, if you do use templates, I will show you how you may use Salesforce templates inside of your Outlook natively. And we will finish our webinar today with the mobile experience on iOS and Android that you get with the SmartCloud Connect. So that will be also covered in our agenda. So let me get started. So first of all, a little glance who we are. So for what SmartCloud is and who we are and what we've been doing so far. So we're not brand new to this business. We've been on the market for more than 10 years. I think we are approaching our 11th year now. Besides Salesforce integration with the Outlook, we offer integration with many other apps. So we have integration with Microsoft, with Oracle, SAP, and many others. In fact, we offer integration not just with the CRM systems, but also with the ERP, ECM systems, MA systems. So in case if you do use any other platforms and you want to put them all in one place, we're the people to talk about this. So we have right now about 90, I think already 100 employees working at SmartCloud Connect, and we received investments of $1.5 million back in 2006. So we also been mentioned by a few credible sources before. So Gartner called SmartCloud as a cool, innovative vendor. So we're really cool. Also, Bill Gates, when he was talking about his product Outlook, Microsoft Outlook, he mentioned Invisible CRM, which is us, as the good example how you can get your Outlook integrated with the third-party apps, which is SmartCloud, right? So also, the main rationale why you'd want to use SmartCloud is obviously that by melding your enterprise systems like CRM system, like Salesforce, right, with your personal tool, you can achieve better productivity for your reps. You can increase their performance, and you can assure the full data integrity between your internal system, that is your personal system, that is your Outlook and your inbox and your calendar, with your enterprise system, that is your Salesforce. So how do we do that? So we've come up with a few great inventions, with a few great features. We call them intelligent features and smart features. That's why we call our product SmartCloud Connect, that make it possible for you to achieve all these different aspects, such as increasing the performance of your reps or increasing the productivity of your reps. And today I will show you exactly how that works with the SmartCloud Connect. So The process of installation, I will cover that right in the beginning of this webinar. It's quite simple. So you just activate SmartCloud on your Outlook or Office 365. You log in and you're ready to control how you would want to synchronize and log your data into Salesforce. So I guess we will start now. So let me show you my Outlook. So the very first step that you want to do in order to get started with the Smart Cloud, you want to have the Smart Cloud activated on your Office 365 account or on your Outlook. So you would go to smartcloudconnect.io/wizard, and here you have a few options to get SmartCloud up and running on your own system. So you can enable SmartCloud on your Office 365, and I would recommend using that. So if you use Outlook 2016, the latest version, and if you're using Office 365 or Exchange 2013, 2016, then you definitely should go for the Office 365 option. Because that allows you to access SmartCloud from any device. You can actually use it on your desktop Outlook. You can use it through your web browser if you're accessing your Outlook web application. You can also use SmartCloud on your mobile devices as well. So if you have that enabled on Office 365, that would be the best option for you. But let's say if you're using the older version of the Outlook, let's say if you're using the Outlook 2010 or maybe 2013, or you don't have Office 365, then your best bet would be to go with the desktop version of SmartCloud, and you would just download it here using download for Outlook option. So today I will show you how that works if you would go ahead and enable SmartCloud on your Office 365 account. So obviously the first step, you would click enable for Office 365. You would be prompted to log in into your Office 365 profile, and once here you would have to get SmartCloud installed. So again, you would be installing your SmartCloud not on your PC, but in the cloud right in the Office 365 account. So you have an option to install it. So you click install, and then you click OK. And then you would see SmartCloud appearing in the list of your add-ins, SmartCloud Connect for Salesforce. So you would go ahead and get it activated. And once you have activated that, once you click that, once you check that checkbox, you would see SmartCloud appearing in the ribbon of your Outlook. So it just barely appeared, as you can see. So your next step would be to have the SmartCloud connected to your Salesforce. So I'm already logged in into Salesforce. I'll just log out for you to show how that works. So basically, you would log in into your Salesforce, and from here, I'll just see if I can do like this. And from here, you would be able to access all the information, all the database you got in Salesforce in the Outlook. But that's not the end of the installation. Make sure that once you have the sidebar showing up in your Outlook, that you complete the setup, because many of our prospects, they just see the sidebar and they think, okay, I'm all set now. That's just the beginning, because the second step is to make sure that you don't see this message saying as action required, synchronization component is turned off. So make sure you click enable now. So what that basically do, it will allow you to connect your Office 365 account with your Salesforce. So you click enable now, and next thing you would have to do, you would have to log in into your Salesforce first, and then once you are here, you would see that your mail server connection is not working. In your case, in my case, it's already connected, but in your case, it would say not connected. So you click change settings, and then you click Office 365 refresh. And once you click on that, you would be prompted to log in into your Office 365 account. And once you have logged in, you would be able to connect your Salesforce with the Office 365. Why do you need that? So obviously, first reason you would need that to be able to get all your Salesforce data like contacts, emails, calendar events add it to the Office 365 or to your Outlook and vice versa. If you want to have any of your emails from Outlook, Office 365, or calendar events added to Salesforce, you would need to establish this connection. Now let me show you what you can do here. So you should see that updated message. Then that means that you're all set. Then you would click Sync Settings, and let me show you what features are available to you in the sync settings. So first of all, if you click on Filters, here you can say what Salesforce data you want to synchronize to your Office 365 or to your Outlook. So calendar. So if you enable this option, any events you set up in your Salesforce would be synchronized to your calendar, into your Outlook calendar or Office 365 calendar. So you would see them right inside of your calendar. You would be getting all the reminders and so on. The same for tasks. So if you have any tasks set up in your Salesforce and you also want to see them in your Office 365 Outlook, you would have to enable this. You see, I have it disabled because I use the classic version and I already have that pop-up screen window in Salesforce for tasks. So I deactivated this not to have a duplicate notifications. Also, you are able to synchronize your Salesforce contacts into your Office 365 or Outlook contacts. Now, here you have a few different options available. So first of all, if you click Customize, you're able to decide what Salesforce contacts you would like to see in your Outlook or Office 365. I recommend to use the synchronization of your contacts if you use your work mail from your cell phone, from your mobile device, because if you do, you'll be able to see all those contacts right inside of your mobile, and I'll show you in the end of this demo how that looks on your mobile phone. So you have an option to synchronize all available contacts. That means that any contacts you have in Salesforce will be available to you in your Office 365. Additionally, if you just want to synchronize those contacts where you are the contact owner, you would choose the second option, Only My Contacts. Now, you also have an option to create a custom view. So basically, you would go to your Salesforce and you would create a view in your contacts and just create any view. Let's say Alex in progress. That's my view in Salesforce for my contacts. And if I choose that view, then only those contacts in that view would be automatically synchronized to my Office 365 account. Now, once you have those contacts synchronized, you would see them first of all over here in Outlook. So if you click on Contacts, you would see here a folder, Salesforce Contacts. And from that folder, you can see all the contacts you have in your Salesforce. And so you can email them, you can call them, you have all the information about those contacts right inside of your Office 365 or Outlook. Now, let's go back to our sync settings. So now, another option that SmartCloud provides is to have the ability to synchronize data from your Office 365 or from your Outlook to the Salesforce. So here you have two options. So you can get your email pushed to the Salesforce either manually or automatically, and I will show you how that works in the manual mode, and then how that works in the automatic mode. So let me show you the manual option first. So here we are. So I've just got my Salesforce, my Outlook opened, and let me just open the sidebar. And you see here, I have, it shows me what records I have in my Salesforce for this specific email. So I don't have any record for that lady, Lori Bukovinsky. So first of all, I can create that new record. That's another benefit of SmartCloud. So if you don't have any record in Salesforce, you can create that record using the sidebar. I'll show that in a second. But let's say if I open an email that I do have an existing record in Salesforce. Let me just find any email. So just a second. All right, so I think I just found some. Okay, I just don't want any of our current attendees to be here. Okay, so here we are. So let's say I just opened an email with an existing record. So you see, I have an option here to save this email manually using the Save button. So I can click Save, and that would save that email that's, well, currently it's a calendar event to the Salesforce. Yeah, and it says event. Let me just find the specific email just a second. All right, so here we are. We have the email here. So here's an email, so right? So I can save this email to my Salesforce, just clicking the save button. Additionally, if I unfold this, it will show me what other records I have here, and I can also save that email to those records, specific records. Additionally, I can click detail view and click save this email from the detail view. I would just click email, save this email, this button, and it would have this email added to the Salesforce that way. So this is the manual option to have my email synchronized to the Salesforce. Other way for me to get this email added to the Salesforce is just simply use that quick save to Salesforce button. So if I click that, it would just mark that email to be synchronized to the Salesforce, and then within next synchronization session, that email would be added to the Salesforce. Typically, those sessions occur every 30 minutes or so. So within 30 minutes or so, I would have this email added to the Salesforce if I use the quick save to Salesforce option. Or I just simply can just right click on that email, click categorize to Salesforce category, and again, that would have that email marked to be synchronized with the Salesforce. Now, this is the manual option, but you can also program SmartCloud to synchronize your emails automatically. So in that case, it's no longer an issue for you and no longer a hassle for you to get those emails added to the Salesforce. And this is what we do at SmartCloud. We synchronize our emails automatically with the Salesforce. So as soon as you get an email from someone and SmartCloud finds a relevant record in Salesforce, it will have that email automatically logged to the activity history of that Salesforce record. And how do you get this email auto synchronization enabled? So yes, you would go to the sync settings and detail settings, and then you would click enable auto sharing, and you would enable this. So enable auto sharing, that allows you to synchronize all emails that you receive from your prospects or from your customers, and also all emails that you send to them, and you include their Salesforce records into field. So if you include, let's say, Roger into a field, and you have Roger as your lead or contact, then that email will be automatically synchronized to Roger's Salesforce record. But let's say if you're adding a few more recipients in carbon copy in CC, so if you would want that email to be synchronized to the records that you put in CC, then yes, you would enable the deep sharing option, and with that functionality, you are able to synchronize your email not just to people you include in to field, but also in CC field. And that's all. Now, I probably assume that some of you already have some questions like, what if I don't want to have some of my emails to be synchronized automatically? Say I just want to synchronize automatically 90% of emails, but there are those 10% that I don't want to synchronize. So we do have an option to exclude certain emails from automatic synchronization or entire domain names. So you would use the blacklisted domain option. So let's say I don't want to synchronize automatically any emails that I get from Gmail or that I send to Gmail emails. So I would add gmail.com entire domain name, and in that case, all emails to that domain name will not be automatically synchronized to the Salesforce. I also have an option to add specific email addresses. So let's say I don't want my private email address to be automatically synchronized to the Salesforce, even though I do have a record in Salesforce. So I can add a specific email address, and in that case, any email exchange with that email address will not be synchronized automatically. Only manual option is available. And by default, we do not synchronize your internal communications. So you would see your domain name already included here. So that way, any interaction you have, let's say with your boss or with your colleagues, even if you do have contacts for them in Salesforce, if you do have leads for them in Salesforce, they will not be automatically synchronized with their records in your Salesforce. Now, that's the email part, but also SmartCloud allows you to synchronize your calendar. And again, for your calendar, you have two options. You can synchronize your calendar events either automatically or manually. So if you choose the automatic option, that means if you set up a meeting with any of your Salesforce contacts or any of your Salesforce prospects, that meeting will be automatically synchronized to the Salesforce contact activity history as the event, as a Salesforce event. And that can happen automatically if you enable meetings auto sharing and if you enable the appointments auto sharing. So what's the difference between these two? So the meetings auto sharing is those events that you typically set up with other people, right? So that these are meetings. But if you just set up a reminder for yourself in your calendar, that also would be synchronized to your Salesforce calendar, but that's an appointment. So if you want to see your appointments in your Salesforce as well, then you would enable the appointments auto sharing. So that's pretty much everything what you can do here. Additionally, you can prevent your Office 365 deletion in Salesforce. So let's say if you have a contact in your Office 365, and if you delete that contact in your Office 365, and you don't want that contact to be deleted in Salesforce, then you would have to enable this option. So that says don't remove object in Salesforce when removed on Office 365 for Exchange. So that is pretty much everything about the synchronization of your emails and your calendar events. Now, additionally, if you look in my calendar, you can see I have quite just a few meetings here, and they're in blue color. So those meetings, I can go to the last week, so I had more of them. So you see I have quite a few meetings here, and the blue one are those that have been synchronized by SmartCloud into Salesforce automatically. Now, what if I don't want some certain events that I have in my calendar go into Salesforce automatically if I have enabled the automatic synchronization? Well, in that case, you just need to mark that as private. You see that little lock? So basically, you take any event, let's say you just select any event, and in the ribbon, you have an option to mark it as private. So you would just mark that as private, and with this option, that event would be prevented from automatic synchronization with the Salesforce. Now, if you would choose the manual synchronization of your event, so if you would not enable the automatic sharing of your calendar events, then you still can synchronize your calendar events, but only manually. And so if you would want to do that manually, you simply just, let's say, I want this meeting to go into Salesforce. You see, this is our internal meeting. So like I said, we do not synchronize internal meetings automatically. But say I do want that meeting in Salesforce. So, and I don't have the automatic event synchronization. So in that case, what I do is just right click on that event. And once I right click on that event, I would mark that for Salesforce synchronization by putting that in the Salesforce category. So simple as that. So once I put it, apply the Salesforce category to this event, it would be marked to be synchronized with the Salesforce. So you have two options: manual synchronization of your calendar or automatic. All right. So now let's move to our next step. Now, how do I assure that the emails that I send to my prospects or to my customers are opened by them? So, as you know, SmartCloud is not just a mere integration with your Salesforce and Outlook. It's a tool, it's a solution to help your reps be more efficient, to help them to become more productive. And we have invented quite a few smart features, as I mentioned in the beginning of this webinar. And one of those features is the ability for you to track when the emails that you send are opened by the recipients. This is really very helpful, let's say, if you are sending some really important emails, let's say with a contract or maybe with a quote. So you do want to make sure that they are opened by your recipient, right? So how do you use SmartCloud to enable the automatic tracking of your emails? So obviously, first of all, when you have to compose a new email, so let's say I'll just put any email address here, and once you have email in the compose mode, what you do, you have this option in the ribbon that says track email opens. So you can click on this, and that would insert the what we call a magic pixel into your email compose body. That's option one. But the second option is just to pin the sidebar, and every time when you compose an email, and if you see the sidebar that it has opened, then it would insert this magic pixel automatically in the Salesforce into your email. So as soon as the email is received by the recipient, you would be able to see that using this dashboard. You can see it's a dashboard called View Open Statistics right here. So what I would typically do, I would click on that dashboard, and you can see it shows, let's say I sent the email to John Smith, and the last time the email from John Smith was opened on January 18th, and he's located in Warsaw, and he also used his device, he used the PC to open my email. So I do know that he has opened the email that I sent to him. Now, we also provide the general overview of all the sent items that you've sent recently. So to see that, you click Detail Statistics, and here are all the emails that I've sent today. So let's say I'll just send the email to this guy, so I can click on that email. And what happens is that the email would be automatically opened. And again, using the sidebar, I can see exactly when Daniel has opened the email that I've sent to him. So you see Daniel looks like he's located in Moscow, and he's opened my email from his PC as well. So this functionality is really helpful because you know for sure when your recipients open your email. And typically when I send important emails with contract or with the proposal, what my typical workflow is that the next day I come to work, I would go and open my dashboard via Open Statistics, would look in detail statistics to see if my email, the important email that I've sent, has been opened by the recipients. And if I do see that they haven't opened my email, that would give me a reason to call, let's say, to Daniel and say, hey, Daniel, this is Alex with SmartCloud. Sent you an email yesterday with the proposal. Just want to know if you have received it, or it could have been blocked by your spam filter or whatever. So that way, I don't wait, let's say, a week or 2 weeks for Daniel to respond back to me, or to make another follow-up with Daniel to see if he has reviewed my proposal, because I can see that whether or not the email has been opened using the track email open statistics in the SmartCloud sidebar. But of course, it's nice to be able to track the emails. But another tasks that many reps have is, besides sending emails, to make sure that they are also very successful in doing their follow-ups. And again, SmartCloud has a feature for that that would help your reps increase significantly their follow-up rate. So typically, every time when your rep would finish the call with your prospect or with your customer, and if he needs to set up a follow-up, he would ask questions like, "Hi, Daniel, this is Alex. So when can we set up our follow-up meeting to see how you progress with this project?" Right? But the problem is that many prospects or many customers say, I'm not sure. Maybe if you try next Wednesday or Thursday, that should work. So please call me next week sometime. And obviously, I don't know if you've been calling if you've been doing your follow-up calls, you know what it's like, right? So you can call your prospect in the morning just to find out that he's not in the office yet. You again call a bit later, and you just find out that your prospect is on the phone call with someone. Again, you call later, and he's having a meeting with his boss. So you keep calling, and you might find it difficult to arrange the follow-up. So what is recommended for your follow-ups is to set up the specific time for the follow-up meeting. But the problem with that is that if you do ask questions like, "So, John, when would be a good time for us to set up the follow-up meeting?" You can hear something like, "Well, I'm not sure. Try next Wednesday morning," right? And so you would try next Wednesday morning and have the issue that I've just described. So what you can do instead, you can use SmartCloud to offer Jonathan, in our case, a few different time slots for the follow-up meeting. So now, another very good hint for you is that SmartCloud can also show you the availability not just of your own calendar, but of your colleagues. So if you need to have, let's say, any of your colleagues on the meeting, you can add them, let's say, in CC field or in to field. And when you would be suggesting the time slots, your available time slots for the meeting, you can suggest only those time slots when yourself and your colleague are both available. So for this purpose, I've added one of my colleagues in CC field, and you would need to click suggest to meet tab. So you would click this option, suggest to meet. And over here, you would just, let's say, I don't know, follow-up call, right? A meeting subject, follow-up call. Then the location, let's say phone, right? And you can even provide the phone number. So 650-897-4951. That's my phone number. You can specify the duration of the meeting. Now you also have an option to share that meeting with the Salesforce. So as soon as the meeting is arranged, and that meeting would be automatically synchronized to your Salesforce. And in body, you can just provide the reason for the follow-up. So next step, discussion for the project, for example, right? So now once you have the meeting details included, you have to think of the time for the follow-up meeting. So what do? You click next. And let's say Jonathan and I, we agreed for the follow-up on next Tuesday, right? But again, like I just mentioned, I'm not sure when I'm available and when Jonathan is available. So you see what happens here. First of all, I can see the time slot when my colleague Dmitry is busy. So he's busy from 2 p.m. till 4:30 p.m. And also you can see that I have a meeting in blue at 10 p.m. But I have quite a few different time slots between these two time slots. So I can offer several time slots, and if I need, I can also choose a different date. So I just go to the next day, let's say to Wednesday as well. So to be as flexible as possible for my follow-up meetings. So here you see I have a meeting here and Dmitry has a meeting here, so I can click a few more meeting time slots, and then I would click next. Here I can review the meeting time slots that I've suggested. So let's say I don't want to have a meeting at 6 p.m., so I can remove that. And once I'm all fine with these time slots that I've suggested, I would click next, and that would have those time slots automatically inserted into the email compose body. So I can say, hi, Jonathan, this is the time slots that I'm available next Tuesday or Wednesday. And obviously, if Jonathan would click on any of those time slots, that would create a calendar event in my calendar, in Jonathan's calendar, and also in Dmitry's calendar. And so this is that easy to set up the follow-up call, offering flexible time slots for your recipients to choose from. Now, obviously, when the time is due for the follow-up call, Jonathan would see that in his calendar, so he would not be having a call with another customer or prospect of his, or he would not be having a meeting with his boss, because he will see that in his calendar that he's got this meeting set up with you, right? So this is a really good option. I suggest you try it, and this is really helpful for any follow-up meetings and any follow-up calls. Now, additional feature that I would like to show you today is the ability to use templates, Salesforce templates, but not just like generic templates like you would send them from salesforce.com and they look as they've been sent from Salesforce, right? SmartCloud provides an integration of Salesforce Salesforce templates natively into your Outlook. So let's say I'm just about to make a phone call to Jonathan, and I haven't managed to call him. So I left him a voicemail. And so what I've done, I've created a template specifically for voicemails. And using SmartCloud, I have an option to insert email template right here. So first of all, obviously, you would need to create a template in your Salesforce. And then you would be able to use that template inside of your Outlook. So you click Insert Template. So let's say I've just called Jonathan and he hasn't responded. And the issue is that people, if I do leave a voicemail, sometimes people don't listen to your voicemail. So your efforts to reach Jonathan were in vain. So what I typically do, besides leaving the voicemail, I also send them the email to let them know that I called them and left them the voicemail. So here we are. So I just look for my template. So Alex voicemail. You see I have quite a few of those templates. And then I click Insert. and see what happens. What SmartCloud does, it just adds the variable, which is the first name of Jonathan, into your template. So it looks like it's been specifically written for Jonathan, and it just says, "Hi, Jonathan. I just called you to see if you need any assistance with SmartCloud. In my voicemail, I mentioned that I'll try to call you tomorrow. This is my number, so please give me a call back or email me back, whatever works best for you." And so that way, if Jonathan hasn't listened to my voicemail, then at least he would scan his inbox and he would see that I've tried to call him. And you see that it also inserts the subject, voicemail, into the email. So that way, all I have to do now is just click send. So typically, by the time when I finish my voicemail, which lasts about 30 or 40 seconds, I have this template already created and the email sent at the same time. So I don't waste my time on composing emails, since I'm able to use Salesforce templates natively in my Outlook. And you see that my signature, my Outlook signature, is still here, so it looks very native to the Outlook. It doesn't look like it's a generic email being sent from some mass emailing system. And so I guess the last step for today is to show you the mobile experience with SmartCloud. So that way, if you need to, if you are traveling a lot, or if you're using your mobile phone for your work, you also would be able to use the same advantage of SmartCloud sidebar right inside of the mobile phone. So let me just quickly have my phone connected. So just a moment. All right. So you should be able to see my phone screen now. So obviously, for SmartCloud to work, you have to have Outlook for iPhone, for iOS installed. And you see this is my Outlook right here. And you can, using that Outlook, you can access the same sidebar that you would see on your laptop. So you would open your Outlook. So this is an email, let's say, just one of the emails that I just sent. And to access the add-in, the Microsoft add-in, the SmartCloud, all you have to do is just click on those three dots right here. So once you click, you would see all the add-ins you have enabled and that are available for your mobile. And you would click on Open SmartCloud. You see? And basically, it would load the same sidebar that you would typically see in your Outlook on your laptop or on your PC or in the web browser. And so again, you have all the information I don't know if George is with us, but he just opened his email. He's recording my Salesforce. So anyway, this is the experience you can get with the mobile, and you can do exactly the same things. You can let's say leave a quick memo if you need to. And by the way, I suggest to use the quick memo option. What it does, it would add the timestamp. So it would add the time when you left that memo and the date, and also the name of the user, Salesforce user who left that memo. You see, so that way you can create your memos in your description field, in your opportunities, or in your contact leads, and you would see it in the chronological order all the memos that you left before. Additionally, let's say if I just got a call from George, I can log that call right here. So the next time when he would call me, I would remember what we've discussed during the previous phone call. Also, if needed, I can create a follow-up task. So let's say I just had this call with George, and let's say we agreed that I would call him next week. So I would go ahead, select the time for the follow-up, let's say the 23rd, right? And then I would leave the note here, just let's say call George, right? And then I would save it, and that would save that as the open task for me to follow up next week. I'll have to erase it afterwards. Now, additionally, what SmartCloud is good at, if you do have any file attachments, you can attach those files right from the sidebar. And again, you can use it on your mobile or on your laptop. So you just click attach. You would click that attach option, and that would have that file attached to the notes and attachments in your Salesforce. And again, you can do it directly from your sidebar. Now, additionally, obviously, if you go in detail view, you're able to change any details on the Salesforce record, and you can also decide, if you need to update anything. Another good feature that SmartCloud has is integration with the social media. You see, you have the LinkedIn icon. So if you click on that, that would try to find this record on LinkedIn. I'm not sure if, okay, you see it found George, or at least few Georges on LinkedIn, right on my iPhone. And additionally, what you can use a SmartCloud for, if you have enabled the synchronization of your contacts, then they also would be available in your phone book. So I can show you what it looks like. So here we are. So you see my contacts right here, and you see that I have Salesforce contacts as well. So let me just quickly remove them. So leave the Salesforce contacts. So if I would look in my phone book, I would see the same contacts that I've showed you in my Outlook, but I would see those contacts on my phone. So I can click on any of those contacts, and you see I see the phone number of that contact, the email address, and also the link to the contact's Salesforce record. So you just click on that link, and that would have that record opened in your Salesforce on your mobile. You see, so this makes your life so much easier if you're traveling and you need to check your emails on your phone. Then when you get an email from someone, you can easily check what records you have for that or this email. So it just loads the Salesforce using the Salesforce app on my iPhone. You see, so you have the same experience, right? And now additionally, I guess that would be it for the mobile experience. Additionally, what you can use SmartCloud is that sidebar that you see, the actual sidebar is fully customizable as well. So if you have, let's say, several different departments working with your Salesforce, let's say if you have salespeople and they work with the Salesforce sales object in your Salesforce, like leads, opportunities, or contacts, and you also have service people, support people, and they work with the support objects in your Salesforce, like cases, support cases. Then each of those departments can actually customize that sidebar. So it would only show those Salesforce objects and those Salesforce records that are relevant to their daily business workflow. And what do you and how do you go ahead and and get that sidebar customized? So that solution comes out of the box. So you would click on this settings gear, and here you have an option for customization. So you click customize, and that would open the customization page. Usually it takes about 2 or 3 minutes to load, but because it literally has to load all the Salesforce records. But once you have that loaded, you are able to see all the objects you have in your Salesforce, and you can customize what fields within each of those objects you want to see. So let's say I will go ahead and open my, let's say, opportunities. So you have the opportunity object that is available in my sidebar, and if I click customize, I can choose what fields in my opportunities I want to see inside of the sidebar. You see, so I click the plus sign, and I'm able to add those fields into my sidebar. Additionally, if I see that there are some fields I don't want to see in my Salesforce, in my sidebar, I can remove them by clicking the X sign. Now, if you look in the sidebar, you can also see that we have some fields showing up on the first page. We call it adaptive user interface page. So these are important fields. You really want to see them from the first glance. And also, if you go in the detail view, if you click edit, you see there's this checkbox that says show only important fields. So these are fields that I want to see from the first glance, and they are important to me. But if I want to see all the fields in my Salesforce, I have to uncheck this checkbox in my sidebar. I have to uncheck that checkbox, and then I'll see all other fields that I've added to the sidebar. But say if I need that field as important. I want to mark that as important, so I don't have to click uncheck show. I don't have to uncheck show only important fields. So again, in customization, in SmartCloud customization, you can mark any of those fields as important. You simply just double click on the field, and you just mark the checkbox important, and then that field would be available to you on the adaptive UI page and also on the important field section. So you don't have to uncheck the checkbox to show all other fields, right? So basically, using this customization page, you can fully customize your sidebar, what objects you would see, and what fields you would see within each object. And additionally, you can also specify how you would want SmartCloud to find those objects for you. So let's say SmartCloud searches our support cases by subject, email address, or support case number. And you can add an additional field. Let's say we have the field, we have the lead, and we have created the second email custom field. So we've added that custom field in the search criteria. So SmartCloud will also search my Salesforce records by that custom field that I've added here. So overall, SmartCloud is not, again, I just want to stress on this, SmartCloud is not just integration between your Salesforce and Outlook. We integrate your business processes and not just data. So the idea is that using SmartCloud, you can, or you should be able to optimize the sales process of your team. You should be able to increase their performance using such features as the email tracking. You should be able to shorten their deal cycles and also increase their follow-up rates and increase your close-won rates. And that is all thanks to SmartCloud Connect. So if you do have some questions about any of the functionalities that I've shown you today, feel free to give me a call. My number is below, 650-897-4951, and that's +1 for the US. Additionally, if you need to, you can email me back. You all got the emails from me today, but in case if you see that as a recorded demo, here's my email, alex@invisible.io. So you can email me, and I would be happy to help you out with the SmartCloud integration. So to connect your Salesforce and Outlook together and to provide you a solution that would allow you to work more efficiently and work more productively. So again, if you do have some questions, feel free to call me later or email me, and I would be happy to help you out with any of your questions. So thank you very much for joining this webinar. It was a pleasure seeing you today. Just in case if you have missed it, or if you would like to attend my next week webinar, I would have those webinars on a weekly basis. So you can just register for next week webinar from the email that I've sent. And also the link for registration to this webinar would be available in the video description that I will post on YouTube. And also we'll send you the recording of this webinar for you, so that way you can also watch it later in case if you have missed any parts that I've shown you today. So thank you very much. And again, I'm your personal account executive at SmartCloud. So I would be happy to help you out with any questions you might have about our tool, and make sure that you are all set with your Salesforce and Outlook integration project. Thank you and have a good day. Bye-bye.